Hello friends, welcome to Daring Marina YouTube channel. Today we will be discussing about Purifier. Mainly we will be discussing clyde for the class 4 topic book clyde, discussing about Purifier. So Purifier, the purpose of Purifier is to remove two separate liquids which are non-miscible. Mainly HFO and DO cannot be separated. So and we can separate DO and water. Okay. So the main concept here we dealing with is in purifier is density. So inside the settle tank, water settles down at bottom while oil remains on top. Due to the density difference, water will remains at bottom and oil will be on the top. Okay. Because density of water is too much, so that's why water will come settle down and oil will be on the top. The settled water can be removed easily from drain. Now this separation takes place mainly due to the Stokes law. According to Stokes law, we can say pi by 6 into d cube is equal to rho w minus rho 0 into g. Here means d equal to diameter of water droplet, rho w means density of water, rho 0 o means density of oil, g means gravitational force. Due to this difference in density between water and oil, in the presence of gravitational force, the water can be drained. If due to density, water will be coming on the bottom and oil will be on the top. So water can be drained from the tank. But if difference in density is more than the separation, then separation will be more. That means if difference in density is more, then separation will be more effective. From this graph, we can say if we go on increasing the temperature, there will be a large difference in density between water and oil. Here while looking at the temperature density graph, if we increase the temperature, there will be large gap between water and oil, so their separation will be much more easier. So by increasing temperature, separation will be faster. So here in the first stage, separation takes place in settling tank due to gravitational force. Now in second stage, it will take move to purifier. In purifier, that due to centrifugal force, the separation will be takes place very faster. Here mainly the concept here we are taking is surface area. Here take two balls. First one is longer separation as distance to be travelled is more. Second, slower separation as distance to be travelled is less. One is having less surface area, then other is more surface area. So otherwise, if we add plates in case of first, then we increase surface area of the better, there will be better and faster separation. Here's a basic diagram. Here we can see the first wheel inlet oil will be coming to the oil inlet, and it will flow through the distributor, and from the distributor it will move through the separator disc, and due to rotation of the bowl, the high density particles, that is water and sludges and all, will move to the periphery of the bowl, and clean liquid will come to the center. The top disc diameter will be always greater than the separation disc. The top disc diameter will always be greater than separating disc diameter. Interface it to be maintained outside of the separating disc but inside of top disc. So we have to make sure that an interface should be maintained between separating disc and top disc. It should be outside separating disc but inside of the top disc. Water is thrown into the periphery of the bowl as it is heavier than oil. Similarly, oil being light, they will remain on inner side of the bowl. Okay. So which is clean oil, that will remain at the inner side of the bowl. Then here what is the purpose of gravity disc? The main purpose of gravity disc, it is to maintain interface outside of separation disc but inside of top disc. Mainly interface between clean liquid and water and the thick sludges, that will maintain interface. By maintain interface, it does not mean that it will make interface. that will maintain interface. That will maintain interface made by the interface is mainly made by two liquids of different density. Here by gravity disk, what it is doing is it is just maintained in the interface. Then overflow. If the interface starts to shift outwards and go outside of the top disk, then oil will overflow to the water side and purification will affect. Overflow means the interface will slowly start to shift towards the top disk and it will go outside the top disk. Then oil will overflow to the water side and purification will be affected. And opposite, carryover. If the interface starts to shift inwards and reaches the distribution holes of the separation disk means, then water will get carry over to oil side and purification will be affected. Overflow and carryover. Carryover means if interface starts to shift inward and reach the distribution hole of the separation disk, then water will get carry over to the oil side and purification is affected. The purpose of sealing water. Sealing water is to initially make an interface between oil and water. Sealing water means they are mainly for sealing, to make an interface between oil and water. If no sealing water is given, oil feed is started, then oil will overflow because there is no interface provided. So we have to make sure that if no sealing water is provided, oil feed is started, then oil will overflow as there is no interface. The sealing water is mainly made to make interface between oil and water. If the gravity disk is big, interface will move out and overflow will take place. If the gravity disk is big means interface will move out of the top disk and overflow will take place. If gravity disk is small means interface will move in and chance of carryover is there. So oil enters from the center via distributor. The sludge or other impurities mixed with water will get stuck to the underside of the plate. So this particle is subjected to mainly two forces: throughput force and centrifugal force. Centripetal force and centrifugal force mainly. These two forces will form a resultant force which will push the sludge or impurity down the separating plate. Okay. Why we will using sliding bowl means if the sludge or impurities are mixed with water, it will get stuck underside of the plate. If it is a sliding, then because of the throughput and centrifugal force, it will push the sludge or impurity down the separation plate. We can understand why these plates are tapered and not straight. If the plates are straight, the particle or impurity will get accumulated on underside of plate instead of sliding down and thrown out. So why we use the sliding plates instead of straight or tapered one means if the plate is straight, the particles or impurities will get accumulated on underside of plate. Instead of sliding down, here it will be get thrown out. So this is the picture of an interface. Okay. Here means rho means radius of interface to the center, E means radius of interface to center, L means radius of clean oil outlet to center, H means radius of water outlet to center. Okay. W square into rho G E square minus H square is equal to rho 0 into E square minus L square into omega square. So omega square cut होगा, so omega is equal to centrifugal force. So we can say rho W E square minus H square is equal to rho 0 E square minus L square. If LHS is equal to RHS, the interface will be outside disk stack and within top disk. So we can say that interface will be outside the disk stack and within the top disk. Now if oil outlet has to be kept fixed, we can only change by using the water outlet. If density of oil increases, that means RSH is increasing. So to balance this, we need to decrease the gravity disk. This will increase the LHS. Say if the density of oil reduces, that means we have to increase the gravity disk diameter. If the density of oil increases, the size of gravity disk will be decrease. If the density increases, the size of gravity disk will be decrease. Okay. Or vice versa. Density increases, gravity disk size will decrease. If density decreases, gravity disk size will be increases. So if density of oil is more, we use smaller gravity disk. If density of oil is less, we use bigger gravity disk. If you are using the same purifier but you want to purify DO instead of HFO, then increase the size of gravity disk, because density will be decreasing, so gravity disk size should be increasing. Clarifier. It is a type of separation system used to separate liquid and solid. Clarifier does not have distribution hole in the disk. It is also a type of separation system used to separate liquid and solid. Clarifier does not have a distribution hole in the disk. Clarifier is not having distribution hole in the disk. Purifier. Oil inlet, clean oil outlet is a picture of a clarifier. Clean oil outlet and all. So what are the difference between purifier and a clarifier? Purifier, it separates liquids of different densities of solids and liquid. Purifier, it can separate solids and liquids mainly of different densities, but clarifier, it can only separate just liquid and solids, just like that, because based on density difference and all, it cannot separate. Just it can filter out or separate liquid and solids. In purifier, it has one inlet and two outlets, mainly clean the oil that need to be purified via inlet, and two outlet, that means water and clean oil outlet. But for clarifier, it is only one inlet and one outlet. Okay. Then here in the purifier, separation disk have distribution hole. In clarifier, there is no distribution hole. And purifier, here it will be having gravity disk. In clarifier, there is no gravity disk. Here in purifier, it requires sealing water, but in clarifier does not require sealing water. And that means then in purifier they are having two centripetal impellers. In clarifier, there is only one centripetal impeller. Okay. Then purifier has a lane of interface. But in clarifier, there is no lane of interface at all.